What's up, y'all? And welcome back to Dad Needs to Talk. I'm your host, Robert, and today, this is the first episode of 2025. Man, I hope everybody out there is doing okay. Happy New Year's to everybody. Um, yeah, this is it is very weird, and the typical thing, New Year, having to get used to writing new dates and all that stuff, whatever. When I'm doing stuff at work and business stuff, whatever. But I hope everybody out there is staying warm, staying safe, depending on where you are in the world. I'm here in Texas, where it's been snow day for a couple of days and stuff, whatever. So kids been out of school for a couple of days and lots of other stuff. But before I get into all that, as always, if this is your first time here, then welcome. But if you're a returning listener and or watcher, then welcome back. Y'all know here at Dad Needs to Talk, it's all about fatherhood and family, manga, anime, TV shows, movies, and of course, some video games. Like I said, we made it. It is 2025 and first new episode of the year. And so, with us starting a new year, I also have to give a shout out to myself. It was my birthday on Monday the 6th. So, your boy is now 35 years old. Um, Thankful to have made it another year. And yeah, so here's to another year. So, with that being said, I figured it would be kind of cool to kind of start the first episode of this year, kind of just like looking ahead at a few things coming up across everything I'll talk about, from games to movies and TV shows to anime and manga, and just kind of, point out a few things that are on my radar and just talk about different media things in general that might come up this year or whatever. So yeah, so I want to do that. And then also, but kind of like just thinking whatever. And I've talked about this before, kind of like looking ahead for the podcast and stuff in general for this year, whatever. I'm not gonna try to set no super crazy goal and all that stuff, whatever. It is just I just want to have fun talking about and sharing things, having discussions about things that I care about that interest me. And if anybody joins me on the ride, then cool. And we just gonna just take it from there, because I want to try to make sure not being in my head too much, overthinking, over planning, over structuring things, whatever, and just kind of just, hey, letting things happen as they happen, and kind of going from there. So I'm gonna just kind of honestly just kind of just dive right in, because like I said, I don't have just too much stuff going on. Like I said, with the snowstorm and stuff, whatever, I've kind of been home for a couple of days, kind of getting a chance to kind of rest and recuperate, and catching up on some shows and different things like that. I have on my Twitter page, and I'll probably copy and do the same thing on Blue Sky, but I started a media thread for the year, so just kind of just keeping track of a few things that that I'm watching, reading, playing, everything, whatever for the year. And so, like, I already knocked out. The first thing I watched this year was True Detective Night Country. That was really good. I finally went back and finished up Sign of Affection anime, as well as Reincarnated Aristocrat. Finished that up this morning. And then, yeah, just looking forward and just seeing what other things I might try to go through and knock out and chip away. But uh, but yeah, so with that being said, let's go ahead and just dive into some stuff. And so the first kind of category I want to just touch on is uh is I think video games, because video games are kind of the thing that out of everything kind of like are like the easiest to kind of talk about from like a broader scope and stuff like that. So yeah, so video games. So 2025 is looking to be a pretty big year potentially. If the things that are supposed to come out this year come out, that would be very cool. So I want to just kind of just to highlight a few things, not just specific games, but just kind of like industry related things that, you know, I feel probably going to be, some pretty big things when we look back at the end of the year, whatever. And some of these will be pretty obvious, but still, these are things that are kind of like on my radar to look out for. So of course, the first one, probably one of the bigger ones this year, Grand Theft Auto 6. So assuming it makes it this year, whatever, and doesn't get kicked to 2026, just but with the assumption that this will come out this year, we're looking at what, 12 years since or close to it, 13 years, I think. Is it 13 years? Okay, yeah, 12 years since GTA 5 came out, and obviously a lot of stuff has changed and stuff. They've only done one game. Rockstar's only done one game since then, and that was Red Dead Redemption 2, and even that was 6 years ago. And stuff. So, but yeah, but I'm very excited just because the world, the landscape, social media, everything is at such a height now compared to when GTA 5 came out that I honestly, I'm gonna buy the game. I'm probably gonna end up buying at least two copies, maybe three. I'll for sure probably buy one for myself, my oldest son, because he'll probably be 17 by the time the game comes out. Probably buy it for him, and I don't know. My wife might want her own copy too. I don't know. We'll see, but I'll probably be buying, like I said, at least two copies. But yeah, I'm just excited and curious to see this game come out and just to see the impact it has on the landscape and stuff because yeah, these games don't come around too often or whatever, but this will definitely be a very big one. uh, the next thing I wanted to talk about, and I don't necessarily have a specific image for this whatever, but the next thing is honestly Nintendo. And I mean, just Nintendo across the board because with the new Switch coming, which there have been leaks galore, like to the point where, third party manufacturers already have like uh, accessories and cases and stuff already kind of going up. There was like a post I saw the other day where I think like Switch 2 accessories showing up in the GameStop back end or whatever. So it is truly a matter of time. Like this thing is coming. It is imminent, I believe. Probably will be out within the next with couple of months, to be honest with you. But along with GTA 6, Switch 2, I feel is going to be also another huge wave that we will experience this year. Uh, just because, for one, the original Switch is going on. This is year 8 that it's been out. It is now top 2 best-selling game consoles of all time. Um, and so, yeah, it is just long overdue. And obviously, the biggest thing with the new Switch is going to be how much power is this thing going to pack? Because I think that would be a determining factor into the potential scale that this device can reach and stuff. Because if it ends up power wise, let's say somewhere between a PS4 and a PS5, then that's really going to open up the floodgates for third party support because we even saw stuff like like Borderlands 3 and Witcher 3 and some of these other big third party games, with some technical downscaling whatever, but still they are able to play and run on the current Nintendo Switch. And so it's like, okay, if they can get like a little bit more powerful one or whatever, with like, maybe some better Joy Cons and things like that or whatever, they don't get like super fancy, just more power and good battery life, then this thing's gonna just skyrocket. Because I'm gonna for sure buy at least one for myself, if not two. I'm debating. I don't know. I might, depending on probably what I would do is if it does come out first part of the year, I'm gonna buy one for myself. But then there's a chance I probably would buy Vash his own for his birthday or Christmas gift later in the year or whatever. So, but yeah. So, and with the new Switch coming or whatever, obviously we got Pokemon Legends ZA coming, the new Metroid Prime 4 coming, and who knows what other surprises and stuff Nintendo might bring with it. But yeah, I'm super excited for the new Switch to come out and just to kind of like I said, see how that's gonna shake up some things, whatever. So because I'm pretty sure we might be surprised by some of the games that get ported or also simultaneously released on it or whatever. Like it would be kind of insane. I don't know. I doubt this, whatever, but it would be kind of also cool if somehow Rockstar manages to freaking get GTA 6 running on the new Switch. That'd be dope. But we'll see. Um, Now going along with that and with surprises and stuff for the year, I have a feeling that I have a feeling that there's a chance that we might finally, after all these years, see Hollow Knight Silksong uh, come back into play of things, whatever, just simply because of how long it's been, and they've been like radio silent for a super long time with Hollow Knight. Like they haven't said anything. I don't think since was it like 21 or something, whatever 22. I don't remember the last time that they gave us any type of update, but kind of just like how I saw things, whatever. Obviously, Silk Song was originally supposed to be just a expansion for the original Hollow Knight, but it kept growing and expanding to the point to where they're like, okay, hey, this is just gonna be a full fledged new release. And so, over time it was okay, it's gonna be on PS5, Xbox, Switch, PC, blah blah blah. It's gonna be on Game Pass day one and all this stuff, whatever. Part of me also felt like they waited so long that then rumors started percolating about the new Switch, and I feel like they kind of made a decision of like, you know what, we waited this long. Let's just wait until the new Switch comes out and just add that as another platform for Hollow Knight to launch on or whatever. Cause yeah, they could have just went and released it as is now, whatever, and then release more ports and stuff as time goes along. But I truly hope and feel like this might be the year that Silk Song uh, finally reemerges because, like I said, it has been so long and they have been radio silent for literally some multiple years at this point. But yeah. So next thing I want to touch on gaming wise is Xbox. So starting off by they announced that they're doing their first developer direct of the year, January 23rd. So about 2 weeks from when I'm recording this, and they already announced that they're going to have Doom: The Dark Ages there, South of Midnight, uh, Claire Obscures, Expedition 33, and then there's going to be another mystery game there. So, with all that said, I am kind of curious just in general how this year will go for Xbox as a whole because they have lots of dope games slated for this year. Like I said, between Doom: The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, Expedition 33 is a third-party game, but it's going to be on Game Pass. Uh, Avowed and Outer Worlds 2 and supposedly Fable and who knows what else. So it's looking like it's going to be shaping up to be a solid year, but I am also curious to know like how things are also going to continue to evolve and things for them as a company overall because last year they started releasing more of their exclusives to other platforms and stuff whatever, and so obviously we know one of them is Indiana Jones, but which which I saw a rumor that the Indiana Jones game might also freaking come out on the new Switch. Who knows? But like I said, rumors are running rampant right now with the new Nintendo Switch and stuff. But yeah, but I'll be curious to see like what other games from Xbox will, you know, make their way to other platforms and just kind of how they will do overall with with all their games and stuff. So, cause like I said, they have a pretty strong uh lineup of games, but just kind of hopefully they come together and execute well with all the stuff they have. So, but yeah, so okay. Next up, gaming wise, Ubisoft. Ubisoft is kind of like the other kind of like big headline that I'm gonna be curious to see how things will shape up for them by the time we get to the end of this year. Cause so we just got the announcement the other day that Assassin's Creed Shadows got delayed again. So originally it was coming out November 15th, then it got delayed to like February something. Now it's got delayed again to March 20th. Um, now, for one, on multiple fronts with this delay or whatever makes sense because for one, after the situation that happened with Star Wars Outlaws last year, I know the way that that game launched or whatever and everything kind of influenced this game getting pushed along with a lot of like other political or like online discourse happening around the game or around Shadows, whatever. And so it got pushed to February. Well, in the time since it got pushed to February, we also have coming out in February Monster Hunter Wilds, Avowed, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the new Yakuza Pirate game, and I'm pretty sure there's something else big coming out in February that I'm not even thinking about. So yeah, so all those games coming out, I know that partly pushed it, but I know they also probably, just in general, needed more development time. But a lot is riding on the potential success of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, in general, this is one that I'm kind of interested in checking out or whatever. Don't know if I'm gonna pick it up at launch just because of, for one, I just might not be in the mood for a big open world game. And two, we know Ubisoft games go on sale super quick, so I'll be cool waiting a month or two, whatever. But especially depending on, like I said, when the Switch 2 might come in and all that stuff. So, but yeah. So Ubisoft is, like I said, definitely a big point to kind of keep eyes on this year. Just like I said, because they have a lot of stuff going on in the background and stuff this year that could change the course uh, of that company's history. Now, last up, I'm gonna kind of touch on a bit is PlayStation and Bungie. So Bungie is supposed to have a marathon coming out this year, and so obviously they've had a lot of troubles with Destiny and stuff and things surrounding that. But Marathon, like I said, it's kind of like just like Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed Shadows. A lot is riding on Bungie and Marathon. So we already know Marathon is going to be multi-platform, so it'll be on PS5, Xbox, and PC simultaneously whenever it releases. Um, but yeah, so we'll see. I might not get it or whatever because I'm not too big into online multiplayer stuff, whatever. But like I said, this is just kind of just something that is just on my radar for things to be aware of. Like I said, especially as somebody that does a lot of my gaming, on PlayStation and stuff. So yeah. Now, just kind of before I wrap up this gaming section, just kind of wrapping up a couple of other games in general that I'm looking forward to this year. Uh, one of which is Ghost of Yotai or Ghost of Yote. I love the original Ghost of Tsushima game that came out a handful of years ago. And so, yeah, Ghost of Yotai Yote. Sorry, I keep mispronouncing it or whatever. I'm just interested and excited to get back into that world and just be in this beautiful scenery, going around doing samurai ninja stuff, whatever. Uh, Let me see what other game. Judas is another one that I am very interested in. Um, so one of my gaming things that I still have yet to correct. So I've never played. Well, let me rephrase. I've never fully played the original Bioshock. Like I've played through like that kind of like beginning area where you're in the water and stuff, whatever, and you first get into Rapture. But I want to fully play Bioshock sometime soon. Before Judas come out, because I did play Bioshock Infinite when it came out, because I was a little bit more, you know, action oriented or whatever. But Bioshock, the original one, is one that is, I've dodged most stuff, whatever, over the years. So that is like a big one that I want to knock off my list. Hopefully sometime this year and stuff. But yeah, Judas is one that is kind of a big one that is out there lingering. Um, Something like Mafia, the old country. Like I played Mafia 3. I loved the story and setting of Mafia 3. Obviously being a black guy, being from the South, the main character, Lincoln Clay, being a black war veteran back in Louisiana and stuff, whatever. Lots of vibes that felt familiar and good to me, whatever. But I never played the two original Mafia games. I have them downloaded or whatever, but I never played them. And I know the old country is kind of like a prequel series. So, but yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, back with the Pokemon game with the Switch or whatever coming out, Pokemon ZA, I am just interested in just seeing what they do to evolve the Pokemon Legends stuff. So, and it'll be very cool to play that on the new Switch. So, but yeah. So I think that's kind of it for the video game related stuff. So let's see. So I think next up I'm gonna kind of just dive into some TV show stuff. So TV shows. There's a lot of stuff coming out. There's always a lot of stuff coming out. There's stuff from the last couple of years. Like I still haven't caught up on the Bear season 3 and some other things, whatever. But a few things that are kind of like on my radar for this year. So right now I'm finishing up or a show from last year that came back, Silo season 2. Um, is about to wrap up, and so the same day that the season ends, we get season 2 premiere of Severance. So Severance was a very awesome sci-fi thriller show, whatever, that is great going in, knowing as little as possible, and that's what I want to do with season 2. So I haven't really watched many trailers or anything, whatever. I just want to hey, new episode is out. Go watch it, check it out, or whatever. So, and I'll say this is kind of my chance to kind of re-promote, even though I'm not getting paid for it, but still, Apple TV, because they have some good stuff on there. Like I said, Silo, Severance. I watched Dark Matter a few weeks ago, whatever. Really enjoyed that one. But yeah, so Severance season 2 is on my list. So this Night Agent series, I enjoyed it. So it's fun enough. I didn't know that this show existed until I saw a post about season 2, and it was, oh yeah, the Night Agent season 2 coming to Netflix in January, and I'm like, what is the Night Agent? And so I watched it, and I really freaking enjoyed this show. So Night Agent basically was about this guy who was a FBI agent who was involved with. So he ended up preventing a big attack that happened on the train or whatever, but he ends up getting demoted to what is basically called or he's basically kind of like the phone support for a night agent, which are basically FBI agents that are on special missions. And if they are in a tight situation, there is a specific phone number that they call, and this guy answers the phone and helps them, coordinate different stuff, whatever. And so that's what this show was about, following him. And he ends up getting a phone call from somebody related to basically some spies working for the FBI, whatever. But all in all, it was a solid show. But yeah, so season two, we'll see how that one goes. I'm just kind of scrolling through Paradise. So this is the new show from Sterling K. Brown, and this is the one. Let me see. What was the synopsis for this? Okay, okay. Uh, okay, yeah. So Sterling K. Brown is the head of the president's Secret Service detail, and is the primary suspect when the president turns up dead. And so I'm kind of interested in seeing him in like a political drama thriller show, whatever. So yeah. So Paradise coming out at the end of the month. Looking forward to that one. A lot of these shows I don't know what they are. Yellow Jackets is one I still want to check out. But season 3 of that is coming. White Lotus I've heard good things about, so I haven't checked that out. Don't know what that is. Daredevil Born Again. That is one that is definitely high on my list. I forgot that it's freaking coming out in March. So that's like only a couple months away. But be very excited to be back in that world and to see Daredevil and hopefully Punisher kicking some butt. um, this one, Your Friends and Neighbors. I'm kind of curious about this simply because of John Hamm. I've been a fan of John Hamm ever since I watched Mad Men all those years ago. And so I'm very excited to check this out. This, and especially with it being on Apple TV. So it's called Your Friends and Neighbors. So Apple TV coming out in April. So April has a couple other things for me. So first of which, Last of Us season 2. Super excited for this. I'm a huge fan of the games. I'm a huge fan of all of Naughty Dog's games and stuff. And I thought that season 1 of the show was done superbly. Like, me and my wife were watching this week to week, every Sunday night. She is also a big fan of the games and stuff. So I'm very excited to be back in this world and kind of see how they continue adapting certain aspects of the second game, and how they kind of are going to structure that or whatever. Um, and so, along with Last of Us, we're also getting freaking Andor season 2. So I knew that there was going to be a season 2 of Andor, but I didn't know that it already had a date and stuff. So April 22nd, Andor. So I'm not like a super duper ultra big Star Wars fan or whatever, but Andor was a show that I really enjoyed when it came out a couple years ago, whatever and stuff. So yeah, so I'd be very excited to kind of hop back into uh hop back into that world. And let me see. Ironheart, man, Handmaid's Tale. This is one that I liked those first couple of seasons, but I feel like it's gone on too long. This is season 6, which is supposed to be the last season. I think I maybe watched through season 3, maybe season 4, but yeah, now this show is very stressful. Very stressful to watch, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever circle back around and catch back up on that one. So, uh, Wednesday. I still haven't watched season 1. I know my daughters liked it, and it is definitely one that's been on my radar. But I definitely want to check out Wednesday uh, at some point. But yeah, aside from that, I'm just annoyed seeing this Squid Game season 3. So me and my wife separately, but we both watched season 2 of Squid Games over the you know Christmas weekend or whatever, and was very annoyed by that freaking cliffhanger end. Because honestly, if I knew that they were going to do this the way that they did it, I probably would have just waited until season 3 was almost out and then just watched it then. Because man, that cliffhanger is ridiculous. That's all I'm gonna say on that. The Percy Jackson show, Alien TV show. Uh, okay, not that too much else. Whatever. At least that I can immediately recall for for TV stuff, whatever. So, but just those handful of things I talked about or whatever. It's gonna be plenty of stuff to watch. There always is plenty of stuff to watch. Coming up this upcoming year. Now, movies is a little bit of a harder one to kind of try to nail down, just because you know there's a lot of things that have dates and stuff nailed down, but there's also a lot of stuff that kind of pops up, out of nowhere over time and stuff. And so I kind of really just named just like a few things. So obviously, as far as like my nerd side, uh, and especially probably to me and my sons probably going to watch these, but Captain America, Brave New World, and then the new Superman movie. Excited to go check those out. We get two. Me and my daughter's very excited about that one. And then there was one with uh, what's his name, Rami Malek, called The Amateur, that looks really, really, really good. That one looks superbly good. But yeah, those are kind of like the main ones that are like really on my radar as far as things that I want to check out. So, but yeah, the Amateur, it's coming out in freaking April, so far away. But yeah, I think that might be it for primary for movie stuff. I'm kind of scrolling down. They are doing a Until Dawn movie, which I am kind of curious because I enjoyed that game back in the day, and they just did a remake of the game. But I'll be kind of curious to see how things with that movie is gonna go, because they haven't really talked much about like the casting or nothing whatever for that movie, and it's supposed to coming out at the end of April. Let's see. Hmm. Karate Kid Legends. Might go check that out. I still have never watched the shoot. Uh what is that show? Cobra Kai. I've never watched Cobra Kai. And so that's when I might check out, because I've heard good things about it or whatever. But I might check out Cobra Kai finally at some point. But yeah, kind of just scrolling through the rest of this list. Oh, are we getting Fantastic Four this year? And yeah, that might be it. Um, yeah, that might be it as far as like known stuff that is coming out this year. Oh, Avatar Fire and Ash. Oh, is this the Blue People Avatar or the the Avatar? Okay, yeah, that's the Blue People Avatar. Don't care. All right, so enough of that. So next up, I'm gonna highlight a few anime. So there's a lot of anime. There's always a lot of anime coming. There is always a lot of anime. But this year, we have a lot of things that are finally getting adaptations, or finally getting sequel series and stuff, whatever. So, some of the big ones for me, that I'm excited to see return or whatever, or to see finally get adapted or whatever. So, Sakamoto Days. I wish that I was recording this episode a little bit later, but hey, I'll check in next time I talk. But Sakamoto Days anime is coming out tomorrow, as of the time of me recording. And I will say, this winter anime season has already kind of reminded us to sometimes wait until either a show is out and stuff before judging just off of trailers. And I'll say that even for myself, whatever. Now, with Sakamoto Days, some of those early trailers, whatever, simply hit me harder than some of the other stuff I'm gonna mention, but simply because I truly love this manga and how well the art and stuff looks in it. But yeah, because I've been a fan of Sakamoto Days during there since the beginning. Um, and so the amount of detail that the mangaka has in the art and stuff, especially like as time has gone on, is like insane. Like some of like the action scenes and stuff, whatever. And so yeah, so some of those early trailers for the anime, or whatever, was kind of looking a little sketchy, but they released a new trailer yesterday, or whatever. And I was like, okay, you know what? This looks solid now. But yeah, Sakamoto Days, Honey Lemon Soda, and Metalist, all three of them kind of had some rocky early trailers. But I watched Honey Lemon Soda the other day, and I watched Metalist last weekend, and all of them look great. So, but yeah, so Sakamoto Days is coming. Apothecary Diaries finally returned. I just watched a new episode of that today. It was so good. Um, Doctor Stone Science Future Arc. So this is basically the start of the final season of Doctor Stone, but it's gonna be three curves, so three parts. So it's gonna be a lot of episodes. So it's gonna go on for a while, but man, we're about to hit probably the strongest stretch of Doctor Stone with this coming up season or whatever, and probably one of my favorite arcs in all of manga coming up soon. Like I'll never forget like the panel of Suika reaching up and crying. Manga readers, if you know, you know, but that panel just is in my mind rent free. But yeah, that's coming. Fire Force season 3. So this one, people have been waiting years and years and years and years for. Whoops, sorry. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think because season. I'm trying to remember because season 2. How long ago was season 2? 2020. Okay, yeah, so it'll be 5 years since since Fire Force season 2. And of course the manga finished 2 years ago. Shoot, 3 years ago. So yeah, so the yeah, season 2 has been, it'll be 5 years, and then the manga ended 3 years ago. So yeah, so but yeah, so same thing like with Doctor Stone or whatever, Fire Force, like this upcoming stretch of this final season, which is going to be split into two parts. So the first part is airing in April of this year. Don't know how many episodes it'll be, but then after that, the second part will be January of 2026. But yeah, but this stretch of stuff about to come up is about to be insane for Fire Force. So next up, let me see. Oh, shoot, what is the English name of this? My Dress Up Darling season 2. Excited to see that returning. That first season was really good. Windbreaker season 2, the final season of My Hero Academia, along with My Hero Academia Vigilantes. I am super excited for Vigilantes to get a anime coming out. Now, a big one for me. This is probably one of the ones that I have the highest of expectations for. Witch Hat Atelier. I have 7 volumes, no, 8 volumes here. Of course, I think they're up to like 13 or so in English, but I freaking love what I've read of this series. Uh, like some of the best art that I have ever seen, characters, world, everything. It is like all top tier. And just the little bit that we've seen from that trailer they showed last year, expectations through the roof. Um, and the crazy thing is, I just had to double check the studio that is going to be doing the anime for Witch Hat Atelier. They've only ever done one other project, and that was Zom 100. Now, they did a fantastic job with bringing that manga to life. And so I am just even more excited to see what they do with Witch Hat. Because like I said, like that trailer, that trailer looked gorgeous. And so yeah, so this is definitely one of the top of the list for Witch Hat. Just not sure what season they might try to slide it in at. Because obviously it's not winter. It's probably not going to be spring at this point because we're already getting a lot of spring stuff announced. I wouldn't be surprised if this is summer or fall. This would be a very good summer show to watch. But yeah, Witch Hat, keep it on your radar. Real talk. Um, Let me see what other ones. The beginning after the end is a big one. Oh, obviously, speaking of Fire Force, I almost forgot, and I got my freaking list here in front of me. But Gachi Akuta. Probably like Robert. What did you even just say, and why should we care? So this series is done by the mangaka. Her name is Kei Urana, and she was an assistant slash protege for the creator of Fire Force. So she worked on Fire Force as a assistant, and pretty much Gachi Akuta was kind of set up to kind of like take Fire Force's like be like its like spiritual successor in a way, because this manga started, I believe, within a month or so of Fire Force ending. Yeah, this started February. So yeah, it was kind of like a handoff, a passing of the torch, so to speak. But yeah, this is another one that I'm very excited to see come out. Studio Bones, which they got their work cut out for them, because Studio Bones this year alone, let's see. Okay, so this year they got, okay, so they got a Skate OVA, My Hero Academia final season, and Gachi Akuta. So okay, so if they're doing that, then who is doing Vigilantes? Okay, yeah, I thought that was weird. So for whatever reason, Vigilantes, at least on any list, they have it listed as a film, and it's listed underneath the Bones film. That is very weird. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Because is it gonna be a movie? I don't know. I'll research that later. but um, but anywho, I'm excited for that. Uh, what was the other one I was looking at? Like I mentioned, the beginning after the end. That's a very dope webtoon. I'm excited to see. The summer Hikaru died. That's one that, like, that trailer that they showed for this looked freaking ridiculous. This is kind of like a psychological horror mystery type of thriller show. So I read like a little bit of the manga. Manga definitely has some creepy vibes to it, and the way they were showing the animation in that trailer, whatever, that this is gonna be one, and maybe at least keep on your radar, if you like the spooky stuff. Um, and yeah, I'm trying to think. That might be most of the main ones I'm looking forward to this year. I'm just kind of scrolling through Kowloon. I'm looking forward to that. I've been wanting to read that one for a while, but interested in checking that out. Sonda is the kind of like the other one that's on my radar, because this is done by the same creator who created Beastars. This is her new, or the series that she did after Beastars, and it's gonna be animated by Science Saru, who just did Don Da Don, and what else have they done? The Hike story, which I still need to circle back and go do. Keep Your Hands Off Hazoken. So yeah, very, very, very talented studio. But yeah, I'm curious to see that one animated. And yeah, those are kind of like the big anime things that are on my radar for the year. Like I said, a lot of stuff. Like I said, Witch Hat definitely top of the priority list for me with stuff that is coming out. Let me mark this as watching. It's Welcome to Japan, Miss Elf. That was a good episode today. Yeah. So all right. So from that, The last thing I really just want to touch on, this one is kind of a weird one to try to talk about. But manga. So just because like manga is such a big net to try to like narrow down or whatever, but just a few things I just want to just at least kind of like make note of that I'm interested in seeing. Obviously, One Piece and just like where things are gonna go with Elbaf with this Elbaf arc that we're in and stuff. But a couple of things this year in general for manga. So Undead Unluck, Mission and Mission Yozakura Family are both expected to end relatively soon. Now I am super behind on both of those manga. Uh, but still they're expected to end sometime probably within the next couple of months and stuff. So I've seen bits and pieces of stuff from Yozakura Family where I'm like, yo, like what is going on? And stuff. But yeah, so hopefully I'll get around to checking out those couple. Um there's another manga I read called Beat in Motion. That has one chapter left, so that's ending next week. So I gotta catch up on that. Or no, that's ending in 2 weeks. So gotta catch up on that. Same thing with it's a manga on Manga Plus that I'm reading called Smother Me. That's ending in like a chapter or two. So I gotta catch up on that. And that's a short one. That one's only like 15 or so chapters, but I saw that one was designed to be a short series from the beginning, so that makes sense. And I don't mind that, because not everything needs to go for hundreds or thousands of chapters, whatever. Sometimes it's nice to have a short, quick, condensed thing to kind of be able to recommend to somebody. Um, the other kind of big one that's expected to end sometime this year is Vinland Saga. So I know they're like in like the final arc. I have the final, or at least like the most recent physical book that's come out here in English. I know there's at least two more because there's at least one more that's coming out like around Mayish, and then there'll be whatever the final chapters, whatever will be in the one after that, which would get us to because that's 13. So we should have about 15 of these deluxe double volume editions or whatever when it's all said and done. So yeah, so Villain Saga is a big one. And I'm trying to think. I think that's it. As far as like something I could think of that might be ending relatively soon, cause let me see. Jump manga. Let me just kind of scroll through and see anything else that might be ending anytime soon. I don't know. 'Cause I feel like Sakamoto Days still has probably a good little bit to go, even though we're about to hit 200 chapters with that. Kane Banashi, like I won't get into detail on it, but we just had a time skip in a Kane, which was super not expected, especially with where the story was. So we just had a multi-year time skip with that one. So that one's got a while to go. Uh, Kaiju number 8, I don't know. I don't know. That one, I could maybe see Kaiju number 8 maybe ending this year, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell, but it seems like we're kind of like at the climax, at least of the situation that's going on now. Don't know if they might try to find something else to kind of extend it out a little bit more. Who knows? Um, but yeah, so I think that's kind of it for stuff that at least, like I said, it's kind of like coming to mind that might potentially end this year. Because I'm also looking at Manga Plus. Do, 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 do. Yeah, nothing is really sticking out that I can think of. I I do want to make a point, try to like probably start Trojan X again, and then try to catch up on that and see. I caught up on Matter recently, caught up on Centuria, But yeah, nothing else I can think of that probably would be ending. I want to read Make the Exorcist Fall in Love at some point. But yeah. So aside from that, there was like also just like a few manga that are finally getting English releases that I was excited about. Okay, just a few manga I just wanted just to point out or whatever. So this one I've already read some of it or whatever last year. The Bugle Call. So the synopsis for this one is Luca, a bugler in a mercenary company, wants to escape a war, but his new supernatural powers force him to become a muse of massacre. So this one is super dope. Like I love the characters and their abilities in this one or whatever. And so I'm very happy that this one got picked up. So it's coming out sometime this summer. So just wanted to shout this one out because this is one that I'm glad to finally see get picked up. So I'll probably at least buy volume one just to show my support and add it to the shelf because yeah, this was a really dope one. Cosmos. This is one that I've heard a lot of good things about. I think. Let me look at the lineage of this one real quick. Okay, yeah, yeah. Cosmos is done by the same creator who created Beelzebub back in the day. But yeah, so the synopsis for this one is Kaide has always had an uncanny ability to tell facts from fiction. That ability gets put to the test when he's fired by an extraterrestrial or hired by an extraterrestrial insurance investigation company. So I've heard good things about this one. So this is another one I'm looking forward to finally picking up and checking out. And then the last one I just want to shout out is The Climber. So a dangerous bid for solitude introduces Mori to the rush of solo climbing, addicting him to the heights. Based on a novel. So yeah, I don't know. This is just one that I've heard good things about. So looking forward to checking out. And yeah, I think that might be it. Like I said, like manga, like I said, it's kind of like a weird moving target or whatever. But I will say, hopefully this year, I'm gonna try to get back into more manga reviews and stuff. So, and I'll probably, kind of what I'm thinking about doing is, I'll read what I read, and if something sticks out enough to where I feel like it deserves to be highlighted by itself, I will do a solo review for it. But otherwise, I probably will do because I do also enjoy doing like a collection of like, hey, here's all the manga I read this month or whatever. I think that's also a nice way to kind of like quickly highlight several series and stuff. So, but like I said, like sometimes there are those ones that are so good that it's like, okay, hey, it is this one is worth getting its own, individual review and stuff. So yeah, so I'll kind of play around and see how that goes. So I'm looking at right now. I got a handful of new series that just came out this month for me to review and to check out and stuff. So yeah, so hopefully by the end of the month, y'all will see some manga that maybe got my attention or didn't get my attention and stuff. But yeah, so I think that's gonna kind of wrap things up for the look ahead for 2025. Like I said, I just thought that this was kind of like a fun exercise to do, you know. But yeah, so looking forward to seeing how all this stuff kind of shapes out this year. Like I said, it's a lot of stuff to be excited about, media and content wise. Like I said, like big things with gaming. Like I said, just between GTA 6 and the Switch, and then like I said, some good TV shows and movies and manga and anime. It's a lot of stuff to look forward to, and should be something out there for pretty much everybody to find something to like and to enjoy. But yeah, so I think with that, I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I do think I probably will maybe do like a winter anime impressions in a couple of weeks after I've gotten to watch a few episodes of a few different things, whatever. I think that'd be kind of like a fun little one-off thing to do. And then, like I said, like the gaming news and stuff is starting to ramp up because people coming back from holidays, whatever. So we'll kind of see how all that goes and stuff. So, but yeah. So Thank you so much for watching and or listening. You can find me everywhere at Dad Needs to Talk. If you ever want to hit me up, ask me some questions, recommend me something to read, watch, play, etc. I'm always down for all that stuff, so feel free to hit me up on whatever platform you can find me on. And yeah, let's hope that this year is an awesome year for all of us across the board, from media stuff to life, career, family, whatever thing that you are hoping for the best in. I hope so for you as well. And so, with that being said, as I always say, treat yourself to something nice, read some manga, watch some anime, TV shows, movies, and of course, play some video games and live your best life. And with that, I am out. I'm supposed to go snuggle back under my blankets because it is still like 30 something degrees. And maybe watch some Silo, read some of this new manga I got, and chill. But until next time, I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be easy. Peace.